The Kayfabe Crunch is overseen by Mitosis, the only company America needs. We began life as a small data collection firm, but in just 2 short decades, we've grown into the all-in-one existence assistant you know, love, and require. We stock your shelves, keep your DNA safely frozen, and watch you while you sleep.
The Kayfabe Crunch. The phenomenal KC News.
Good news! This is your Kayfabe Crunch for Tuesday, June 23rd, 2020. I'm Paul Powerbomb. Coming up, we have all the latest from last night's action, plus a fun little quiz that you can play along with at home. It's not exactly news, but even newspapers have a Sudoku, and given that particular puzzle would be a logistical nightmare in audio form, we've decided to go with a quiz. But before all of that, on this day in grappling history, Stone Cold Steve Austin beat off several other men to become the 1996 King of the Ring. It was then that he delivered his famous victory speech, which included the infamous line,
"Talk about your Psalms, talk about John 3:16. Austin 3:16 says I just whipped your ass."
And Austin 3:17 says, "Would you like me to apply some aloe vera?" And 17 years ago today, Kane was forced to unmask after losing to Triple H. Some say his monstrous mystique never fully recovered, but let me remind you of his stint as Corporate Kane. Because, as we all know too well, the real societal monstrosities happen in the boardroom. Thanks for choosing the Kayfabe Crunch as your source for wrestling news. It's been a tough but important week in this sport. But let's have some light-hearted escapism for just a few minutes by looking at the latest events from Raw. God, it wasn't Wednesday last night, was it? I'm all sort of mixed up. Okay then, yeah, we'll do Raw. Fine. And now, let's get on with the Championship Challenger news. Top story: how does the Mysterio family roll? Yesterday evening, Seth Rollins gave Rey Mysterio a warning. Anything that happens from now on is because of you. He stated that legends never die, he should speak with Randy Orton, but they can outstay their welcome. He should speak with Ric Flair. At the end of last night's very real events, Mysterio told the world how he felt about his son's actions last week. He bore his soul and said at first he was afraid. He was petrified. He kept thinking he could never live without Dominic by his side. I'll stop that now. As well as the fear, Mysterio also expressed pride for his son's bravery. He stated, "No matter how big and strong you get," and he's gotten, well, he's massive, isn't he? Even by normal superstar standards, he's pretty big, but for a Mysterio, he's gargantuan. Sorry, got sidetracked by a massive child. Ray said, "No matter how big and strong you get, you will always be my son." And Pixar are rumoured to have approached the Mysterio family about the rights to their life story. Rollins arrived on the scene, angered to be put in this position. He must now either sacrifice a father in front of his son, or vice versa. Here's an idea, Seth. No human sacrifice. The PR alone would be a nightmare. Eventually, Rollins settled on taking 2 pairs of eyes, or 4 eyes for the uninitiated. But before he could gouge 4 eyeballs out on live television, Aleister Black and Humberto Carrillo came to the rescue. Now, for a brief moment, the Mysterios tried to take Rollins' eye. This makes me feel rather uncomfortable as it reveals a darker side to the Mysterio family. What if they get the taste for eyes? Who's next? Ivar? Nia Jax? Daniel Bryan? Elias? Bray Wyatt? Kyle O'Reilly? Isaiah Swerve Scott? Titus O'Neil. That one was a bit of a stretch. Look, my point is, and this is my final word on the matter, if you're in possession of eyes, watch out. Because with the Mysterios at large, and one of them's massive, you might not be able to for much longer. And now it's time for your fast count. The stone cold bedpan strike of news.
Fans demand the removal of the Andre the Giant statue from Access events. This is due to his role as a kidnapper in the documentary The Princess Bride.
Randy Orton brands The Big Show as a legend. As a result, we've opened up a hotline for any fans over the age of 25 who now feel old.
Dolph Ziggler takes credit for Drew McIntyre's success. We're still waiting for someone to come forward and claim Dolph Ziggler's success. So far, no takers.
Sasha Banks challenges Asuka to the Raw Women's Championship. Scientists urge wrestlers to stop following in Becky Lynch's footsteps, as it could lead to a belt shortage before the end of the year.
New Japan Cup rumored to have been stolen. Police say the prime suspect is Old Japan, who wants it back.
Edge claims his minor injury has prevented him from driving.
This injury, not being able to pick up my daughters on Father's Day.
Adam, they were just 2 blocks away.
The Street Profits win the Anything You Can Do, We Can Do Better series. As a proud daughter of Odin, join me in using the catchy hashtag Akadawukadaba to demand a best of 9 rematch.
MVP fails to recruit Apollo Crews, but seemingly recruits Shelton Benjamin. It seems Mr. P is only interested in signing one particular demographic, former United States champions. And that's your fast count.
You've been counted out. Are you arguing with the senior official?
Now it's time for the moment you've all been waiting for around 6 minutes at least. It's time to play the Crunch Quiz. Now, all of these questions are topical, just to see if you've been paying attention. Question number 1. Who will Chris Jericho face at Fyter Fest? Is it A, Orange Cassidy, B, Pineapple Pete, C, Still Life with Apricots and Pears, or D, a literal sack of bananas? Just a quick fun fact, I only made one of those names up. You've got the answer? Okay. Question 2. On NXT, who revealed themselves as the leader of the Masked Attackers? Was it A, Pablo Escobar? What a twist that would have been. B, Eric Escobar? Deep cut. C, Jesse Escobar or Jescobar? Or D, Santos Escobar? I should probably make an off-the-cuff comment here, otherwise the answer's pretty obvious. Okay, have you got that one? Well, I'm going to continue either way. You can always pause the podcast, unless you're listening while doing the dishes, and then hopefully this waffle right here has given you enough time to think of an answer. Question 3. What is John Morrison's current rap-based alter ego? Is it A, Johnny Two Belts, B, Johnny Drip Drip, C, Johnny Mundo, or D, Johnny Mnemonic, the 1995 cyberpunk action thriller starring Keanu Reeves? That last one would be a little too long for an album title, but, well, that's Spotify's problem. Okay, that's enough time for that one. Question 4. Nice, easy question to finish with here. How many seconds of wrestling took place on last night's Raw? Just really simple observational stuff here. Just cast your mind back to less than 24 hours ago. Okay, is it A, 3,450, B, 2,784, C, 2,785, little Price is Right action going on there, or D, 3,000 on the button? Absolute basic question there for any modern fan. It's something we all do every episode of WWE television we watch. We count the seconds of wrestling. That's just a fact. Okay, let's go through the answers. The answer to 1 is B. The answer to 2 is C. The answer to 3 is D, 3D. And the answer to 4, and this was an easy one, remember? None of the above. We hope you all enjoyed that little quiz. It's just a bit of fun. And if you got them all correct, please don't let us know. We couldn't care less. Join us Saturday when we'll see if Pharaoh will answer Cody's open challenge. Good doggo! And remember, you can support this podcast by subscribing and leaving a little review. It's the least you could do. Actually, given that we're a public service broadcaster with no current plans for monetization, it's also the most you can do. This has been the Kayfabe Crunch, your not quite daily, not quite news bump for the world of professional wrestling.
The Kayfabe Crunch is overseen by Mitosis, voted the most ethical company on the planet by those with controlling shares. We just announced plans to purchase Amazon, Disney, and your house. Also, sign up for the new Mitosis credit card and spend, spend, spend. We promise you don't have to pay anything back. But if you don't, we'll release that video.
The Kayfabe Crunch.